Welcome, everyone. My name is Tim Diamond. I am the vice president of this board, not the president. My first board meeting, leading the charge here, so please bear with me. We're going to start calling the meeting back to session at 6:15, and we are going to roll right into the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
All right. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you taking the time to attend our meeting and welcome your comments. The Board of Ed would like to remind community members that meetings are not public forums. Rather, they are business meetings held in public where dialogue is not normally conducted with audience members. If you would like to share your thoughts with the board, please state your name, address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Please understand we will not respond to your comments or questions at this time, but if you would like a response, please be sure to include your phone number or email address on the sign-in sheet by the door. Please note that public comments for items on the agenda will occur during the first comment section and all other comments occurring during the second comment section. Comments should be in reference to a school topic or interest, not an individual or an employee position. Speakers are asked to be respectful as we regularly have students attending these meetings as part of their coursework. Anyone who wishes to address the board, please step up to the podium and turn on the microphone so we can all hear your comments. Thank you. All right, we have no correspondence tonight, so we are going to roll into public comment for items that are on the agenda, which we have none. We're going to go right into our presentations. We have Principal Amanda Eberly from Secondary School, who's going to present to us.
Good evening, everyone. There we go. My name is Amanda Eberly. I'm the secondary school principal. This evening, before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity. I'm extremely excited to present some scholarships this evening to a few of our current students. I have a few scholarships and awards, so I'm going to present those first. Our first scholarships are coming from the Rochester Institute of Technology. These students are each receiving $19,000 per year. The scholarship is up to $76,000 in their undergraduate studies. So the first presentation, when I state your name, if you would like to come up, they did join us this evening, is to Scott Cole. And Scott Cole is receiving a Science and Math Award. Another scholarship for the same, for the Rochester Institute of Technology. This is a computing award, and this is being presented to Abigail Metnich. Our next award is for an Art and Design Award, again for the Rochester Institute of Technology, and this is for Samantha Metnich. My sister, right? Are you the next? So our next award is being presented to Amelia Mickelson, Humanities and Social Sciences Award. Amelia, don't go far. So then I have a final this evening. I have an award that was presented, and this was presented on the Parents Club of West Point. This is the Dwight D. Eisenhower Leadership Award. This award recognizes those high school students who have already demonstrated excellence in character by virtue of their achievements in academics, athletics, community service, citizenship, and leadership. And this award is being presented to Amelia Mickelson. Congratulations to everyone. We're super excited. It's a great way to start this year and recognize the great achievements. As I move forward, another exciting opportunity has come our way, and we are so proud and excited to welcome this program this year. This program is our Career Development and Occupational Studies Graduation Pathway Pilot Program. This program is brought to you and possible from the board and the district being able to pay for one of our teachers, Ms. Tanya Hugler, to receive a certification for Work-Based Learning Coordinator. So we want to say a thank you to you guys for making that possible, and a huge thank you to Ms. Tanya Hugler for all the work that she put in to receive this for our district. And now our students will strongly get to benefit from this program. Ms. Tanya Hugler did want to come here tonight and really showcase all the work that she's put into this. Unfortunately, she had to stay for another commitment, but she is also graciously thankful to be able to have this opportunity to be part of this. Starting with this quote, I thought was extremely valuable in the sense of this is what this program is going to do. So this is by Ben Franklin. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. And that you'll see throughout this presentation is what this program will do for our students. Just quickly going through some of the New York State graduation pathways. This is a small representation and a graphic that you can find on the New York State Ed website. All students complete 5 components in order to graduate. This component is offering another section of that, so they call it a 4+1 pathway. What will happen in this is that there are 4 required assessments. Those are your Regents exams. 1 occurs in each of the disciplines: math, English, science, and social studies. This pathway that we're opening up is adding an additional resource for students so that they would complete a CDOS, they call it. On the very bottom, you'll see that spelled out. That is the career development program. So once they complete those 4 required assessments, they would complete the career development program and they would graduate with a Regents diploma. Currently, our strong suit that we offer is our humanities track. The humanities track is an additional course in English or social studies. So what happens is they complete those 4 core, and then they complete a 5th pathway in social studies or English. And then they would pass those Regents exams, and that would be the pathway they took to graduation. This proposed pathway with the CDOS, the Career Development Program, we'd continue to offer this humanities pathway. However, this is opening again another non-traditional way that students could reach and gain more skills and then still graduate with our Regents diploma. So what is the Career Development and Occupational Studies program? This is a track to our local and Regents diploma, and it does have some pretty intense requirements so it doesn't take the rigor out of any of this. This is just giving another hands-on experience that we can offer our students and really will benefit them, our community, and their future. So they would continue to earn the appropriate 22 units of the diploma credit. Then they would have to pass the Regents exams in each of the disciplines: English, math, science, and social studies. And then the component of the career development program. These components include a career and what they are wanting to move on and do after they leave our school. They work through that career plan and start traveling on different pathways to decide and implement what they want to do and where their interests lie. They also complete 216 hours of career tech coursework, which includes a minimum of 54 work-based learning hours. And this is where Ms. Tanya Hugler being certified in that work-based learning comes into play, because they need to have those hours and need to be under the direction of her. There's also an employability profile that they would complete, and this would travel with them as they leave us to move on to career pathways or into college work. Every student is eligible for this program. Each and every student at Tri-Valley could participate in this program, and each of them will benefit from it. Each student's pathway to earn the career development is also individualized to them. So it will allow them to highlight their interests and passions and really focus on what they want to do and give them a say in where they go with their career throughout Tri-Valley. So why should they earn this? Students who participate in the Career Development and Occupational Studies pathway will graduate with a career plan. So they will participate in various work-based learning opportunities. Students will be better prepared for post-secondary life, heading to college or joining the workforce. Students will be able to add this credential to their resume for colleges and jobs. And students will graduate as well-rounded individuals who are ready to tackle their future. Helping our students along this pathway, this is, looking back on my previous presentation on some areas that we're really looking to improve, including attendance and discipline. This will address some of those. So student participation will increase our attendance. We're looking to increase our attendance because students will want to attend school. They'll look forward to their work-based learning opportunities. These are areas of their interest that they've designated and that they want to do. So being able to be a part of their career plan and being able to be a part of what they're going to be doing when they come to our doors will open up that attendance and hopefully increase. It'll also look at decreasing our discipline. In order for students to participate in this program, they have to prove that they're able to follow directions and rules in school. They're moving out into our community and they need to show that they can definitely exemplify the rules, not only in our program, but also outside of our walls. The employability profile that they complete will track and help increase the positive behavior because everything on that employability profile will have how they've done, what they're doing, what trainings they're receiving. So this will also help track that and really give them the buy-in of. So some students to achieve these career experiences do leave our buildings throughout the day, and they'll go on to participate in other programs outside of us, which cuts into their class time being held here. So because we can offer this at Tri-Valley, more of our students will be able to participate in our full core courses throughout the day because they're here. So being able to participate in that means that they're going to be with our staff and our teachers who are phenomenal, and this is what they do. So we will have more control over what they're learning and be able to really track better progress so we can hopefully increase those Regents scores. The benefits to the community are invaluable. So students will gain this valuable work experience and skills that help them find a good career fit. They'll pursue necessary post-secondary opportunities and support high-demand, high-skill careers. So local employers will benefit from a customized recruitment pipeline. These students are coming into their walls before they even leave our school, and it'll really help them be on-the-job trained. So when they graduate, they're already in that pipeline and have been trained and can start pretty efficiently and quickly. Post-secondary institutions benefit from this program when students are better prepared in high school to pursue high-demand and high-skill career training. Really giving them opportunities to explore their interests will help them when they leave here have a better idea of what they want to explore and what they want to do. And really help them decide on which post-secondary institutions will be best for them. So I wish Ms. Hugler could be here tonight because she has put in a tremendous amount of effort on this program, and she's already started really building these blocks, and with the help of Ms. Cornish as well, who was huge in implementing this program before I arrived, and we were able to kind of come together as a team and work through this. Ms. Hugler's already come up with some opportunities for off-campus internships, discussing with the community and reaching out to all of these bases. So we already have buy-in from the banks in Central Hudson and childcare areas, and we're really looking to expand those opportunities, and she's made a lot of connections, and everyone has been very excited about this. On top of off-campus opportunities, we have a lot of on-campus opportunities, and now these opportunities can be used towards their career development plans and hours. For some examples, we have the Barista Bears Cafe, buildings and grounds, maintenance, cafeteria, library, security. These are all areas where students can work on campus and achieve those hours. Some heavy questions too that we addressed and are addressed. Of course, student safety is our #1 priority. So while they're out in the community and while they're in our schools and working, this is some of the processes that happen behind the scenes for them. So each participating business has to sign a memorandum of agreement, protects the students, the business, and the school. Each participating employer must carry workman's comp insurance, and the work-based learning coordinator will visit each site a minimum of 2 times to ensure the student is safe and all laws are being followed. So that is the end of this presentation, and I offer any questions that I can give and answer for you this evening. And I can also tie them into Ms. Hugler, and she will be coming back and presenting on this mid-year just to give you some updates and what's happening and what our students are achieving.
If I may, what grade level will this be started at?
This will start, ideally, you want to start at 9th grade. Being a pilot program this year, because we're just starting to implement this program, we do have students in 10th, 11th, and 12th starting this year. And that is possible, and we've worked really hard to make it so that they will receive this credential even though they are starting their career plan later. We still have worked out opportunities for them to make sure they complete those hours and will receive this credential at the end of this year if they were a senior enrolled. But ideally, you would want to start in 9th grade and work all the way through to 12th grade to get the max experience out of the program.
Will they receive compensation from the organizations that are sponsoring them?
In the internship years, no. However, there is an opportunity for that because if they decide to work outside of the school hours, so for example, if at the bank they're doing their internship, they can do it after hours where they can be paid through the bank, and then they would complete their hours while they're working. So what we've done is, as long as the business or the company that they're involved in the community has all of those pieces, the workman's comp insurance, et cetera, they would be able to be compensated and gain their hours. So this is where we can catch up a lot of those 11th and 12th graders because they are working outside of our school.
Who's the main individual that a parent could call or a student can get engaged? Who would be the one that I could suggest them to get a hold of?
So both Ms. Cornish, myself, and Ms. Tanya Hugler have all been a part of this process. Ms. Hugler has already been reaching out to numerous families that we were able to make this happen for. She put in legwork last year and did a survey out to our students to see who would be interested in this, if we could pursue it. And that's how we kind of pulled for this year's programming. She's reached out to all of them. So if they had any opportunities or questions or anything at all, she would definitely be a valuable resource and is willing to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you, Mrs. Eberly.
Thank you.
Next, we have Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Frank Snyder.
Good evening. I just wanted to thank everyone for their time today. So we're going to review our title grants, and these are proposed expenses that we have submitted to the state. So this is what we're projecting to spend as we go through, but there are sometimes things in grants change, and then we can write amendments to make adjustments if need be. But we are trying to utilize what the state is offering to offset some of the burden on our taxpayers while still providing excellent services to our children and then enriching their lives with the new after-school initiatives we'll go into. So I chose this. The secret of change is to focus all your energy not in fighting the old, but on building on the new. We are going to start looking at building on the new, just like with the CDOS. What else can we offer our children? We've identified last time that attendance is an issue. So we're looking at ways to make school engaging for children. What other offerings can we have? We have a great art program. We have a great athletics program. What else can we offer to the kids that may not fit into those boxes? So we're looking to introduce STEM across the board and a few other opportunities for children to have something else to come to school for. So our first one is our Title 1A program. We were allotted $392,302. This allotment is actually slightly less from last year, just so everyone's aware, but this is what the state has determined. So as of right now, 100% of the funds are projected to be used. We are using them in the elementary school, targeting our most at-risk children for academics. So our academic intervention service teachers, we are able to fully cover 3 salaries and almost a fourth, 0.96%. We are required to have a homeless reserve based on a percentage. So we have $2,679 in reserve as required by the grant. Title 2A is a little more flexible, but our school has historically used it for our mentoring program, which is fantastic. Most schools have only a 1-year mentoring program. We have a 2-year program to really make sure our new teachers are supported as they develop their careers. Currently, we have mentor coordinator. We have 2. This is a stipend salary in their contract, but the 2 teachers are splitting it. We have 13 mentor teachers, and we have an official end of the year annual review where everyone in the program comes and has feedback so we can improve it. We hire out an ELA consultant who has been here throughout the years. We are continuing to use her to implement ARC and then supplementing some of the pieces that the teachers have found they need some help with the ARC program. So she will be coming back 12 days to work with our elementary school to support them. And then we're looking, as we saw with our math data, that there's a need to look at our math program. So we're looking to put in a secondary math needs assessment. This would be through Oster BOCES. We're still waiting on a few approvals, but they have a very nice program that they have presented to us that we feel will really help us know where we are, where we need to go to help our kids find success. Title IV is kind of the one I think of more the fun grant. We have a little more flexibility and opportunity to provide enrichment for our children. Currently, we are projected to use all the funds that we have. The 2 areas we're focusing are on well-rounded education and supporting safe and healthy students. So some of our well-rounded education, we're going to be expanding our after-school offerings and supporting the current ones we have. The CDOS pathway, as Ms. Eberly had presented, we'll take a look as a program so that it can track. As you saw, it's quite extensive, the requirements for New York State. So to make sure nothing is missed, this program that Ms. Hugler and I looked at will help us data and collect everything the kids need. So when graduation comes, they can get the pathway if they put the work in. And we're going to do an anti-bullying assembly right before Halloween for our elementary school kids. So we're going to take a look at all those. So the well-rounded education programs we supported last year that we are continuing to support through this fund is an art club in the elementary school, and the funds are being used for staffing that program. The musical, we have the production director, the vocal director, and their various materials that have been requested are going to be supported by this grant. The play is the play director, licensing agreement so we can put on the play, and materials as well has been discussed with staff. So we have some options to continue these great programs going with the addition of now adding some new things. So when I came here, Ms. Kelly had asked if we could really look into our STEM program after school. Mr. Whitaker has been able to get a 4:00 bus again for a few days during the week, which has allowed us to open up some more opportunities for our teachers to provide some programs for our younger kids. So the first one is the Lego Brick Education. It's a STEAM-focused program. They do a variety of activities. We're hoping to run this from October through April. We're going to run maybe 3 sessions because we feel there's going to be a high demand on this. Circus Club, the supplies were actually purchased last year, and this year we're going to implement it by funding our teacher who has actually a talent, and he runs these summer program, he told me, for the last 10 years. So we're excited to bring this opportunity. And Fundamentals, the one that's harder to know, is a new program that one of our employees is looking to run, where it's a variety of activities. What you see in the picture on the bottom is called Scooterville. So it gives them an idea of how to go through a city. They can ride scooters. They can pretend like they're driving. They have different roles as part of the city, which is very fun. Then there's some sewing that she was looking to do, cooking, but without a stove. How can you prepare a meal as an elementary kid without using the stove or the microwave? They're looking to work with Home Depot with those little craft kits. We're waiting to hear back from them if they're going to donate or how we can get those for our kids to have some different opportunities in the elementary school. In the secondary school, we're looking to do a VEX IQ Robotics Club. This will be a initial club. We're going to try to see how it goes with the goal in a couple of years to actually be able to compete against other schools in robotics competitions. We have a drone club. The drones were purchased last year through this grant, and we have a staff member who's going to run the club for a few months as well. And then virtual reality club those were purchased last year as well. We're going to run that so they can go on different exploratory areas, but also the equipment can be used to do college visits virtually. So if a parent or some group would like to maybe view a college before making a big trip, if the college offers that experience, we can craft an event here where they can come do the VR trip. And then if they like it, they can make the trip to see the college for real. So in our supporting safe and healthy students, we'll start with the secondary school. Edu Ready 360 is the actual program that will help us track the CDOS pathway. It's just a good data warehouse to make sure all our kids go in there. They have a variety of sheets, then the employer can work in here, comment. This actually, if they download the app, it will let Ms. Hugler to see if they actually go to work. It will show the time they can check in, check out, and it will give the location to really verify some different things. If she's going to go do a site visit, when they say they're there, she will know they're there before she droves. And then we're going to Go Green BMX Big Air Show is an anti-bullying, anti-drug show. It's fun and engaging. Our elementary kids are going to love it. It's going to help teach them about perseverance, how to be kind to each other, and it's going to be exciting. I think they're going to enjoy that. There's a quick overlook of where we're going with our title grants. Are there any questions?
If I may, I might have missed it, but what are we doing for our gifted students?
In terms of, so title sources are typically targeted to students who are struggling. So that's why when you saw the AIS teachers, the academic intervention, the funds are specifically for that kind of education. The flexibility comes with the after school offering. So gifted student who likes robotics could join robotics. They could learn about drones.
I am excited about all the new programs. The Green BMX thing looks pretty cool. Thank you very much, Mr. Snyder.
Thank you all.
All right. Next up, we have a presentation by a Director of Pupil Personnel Services, Danielle Cornish.
Is that back on? Okay. Thank you all for coming and having me present tonight. I'm excited to give you some data on where we are with the special education department. So I'd like to start out with a quote. And mine is, education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. So the reason I chose this quote is because, as we know, even though we highly focus on academics here at school, this is not the only thing that students learn when they come through our doors and when they exit our doors as seniors. They're also learning a lot of soft skills. They're learning how to socialize. They're learning how to interact with their fellow classmates and peers and adults alike. So in order to be successful in life, they need to be a whole, well-rounded student. And this is what part of my clinical team and our related service providers help to enhance while the students are here at school. So some of the ongoing work that we've done over the summer, I've submitted both our 611 and 619 grant. Both of them have been approved by the state. The 611 grant is a grant that funds are used to pay for the excess costs of providing special education and related services to children with disabilities. And such costs for special education teachers, administrators, my whole salary comes out of that grant. For example, related service providers, speech therapists, our pathologists, and occupational therapists and our school psychologists, also materials and supplies that the students need in order to meet their individual needs in the classroom. This 619 grant is a grant that focuses solely on preschool students, any of the supports that they need, and we need to buy special equipment or apparatuses, anything like that comes out of the 619 grant. And next, I did attend a Summer Institute. This was also paid out of last year's grant. It was a really good opportunity for me to work with other PPS directors around the state. This is the first time I've had this opportunity, so I'm very thankful that I was able to go up there. It was really good to collaborate with other people in my position. Since I've taken on this position, we've hit COVID and a lot of other things, so I've never really had the opportunity during the summer to go out and partake in anything like this. This year, the Summer Institute really focused on trauma-informed instruction, multi-tier systems of support, and we had a couple different speakers from the Office of Special Education Director from the state, and also from the Assistant Commissioner for New York State Special Ed Office to give us updates. We also did our reporting, state reporting over the summer. We had to report on the VR 13 or the verification report. This one covers all of our students that are in preschool, so we have to report out on those numbers. The VR or verification report 12 is the state indicator where we have to look at early childhood transition. So that's the indicator that we were up for last year. Every year, the state looks into the special education world, if you will, and we have 13 different indicators that we get audited on, and we have to make sure that, so that the state makes sure that we're in compliance. So we were had to report out on those two indicators. This year, we're up for actually indicator 11, which is transition in the IEP. So that is all how we are supporting our students as they're progressing through high school. Supporting them on the pathways that they want to take and what they're going to do post-secondary. So really transition is looking at those last years of secondary school and what the student wants to do once they graduate. Hence why we worked really hard with Ms. Huger last year to put a lot of the groundwork and that foundation work down in the work-based learning and taking advantage of that opportunity that she really came to me with to say that she was very interested in, and getting the Barista Bears back up this year. And as you can already heard previously from Ms. Eberly, that's one of the things that I did work with her and Ms. Hugler over the summer, is how can we really take that work-based learning opportunity that Ms. Hugler had and turn it into a really well-rounded program for our secondary school students. So she does, Ms. Hugler, work with some of our 8th graders because transition actually starts when a student turns 14. That's when we have to turn over the IEPs for the state to look at. And there's various areas in the IEP that a student, that we have to write in what they're doing exactly. So one of the reasons why, again, Ms. Hugler was looking into the data tracking devices so that we can show the state we're not doing the same thing every year. So maybe one year they're looking at a career inventory, the next year they're digging deeper into it, the year after that they're looking into colleges or how much money they would make if they were to go directly out into the workforce, things like that. Right. The other things that we worked on over the summer are just creating a teacher case manager manual, updating the PPS handbook. I just did today 504 training with the new administrator staff. We did some updates on the DASA forms. They're also available online in a JOT form, and it's a fillable form online. Again, we worked on reviewing the career DOS, the career CDOS and the work-based learning program. Faith and I have really went over all the student schedules as much as we could to make sure that at the secondary school, the students' programs, as much as they can, match up to what their needs are on their IEP. And we continue to search and secure service providers for our preschool students. It really is very difficult, not only here in Sullivan County, but around the state. We're really struggling across all the counties to find providers for our little guys in preschool. That includes anything from speech, OT, PT, and if they need specialized programming. So it's something that we're really working hard on. The other that we've kind of thought out of the box, I worked with Ms. Long and the county so that we can increase our contract with the county so that we can also provide the evaluations right here in district. We're the only district in the county doing that currently. So right now, all the other districts have to wait for evaluations. There's nobody to do evaluations. We've actually sent our psychologist has actually gone to Best Friends just this week and done some evaluations for other districts. So we're really working hard on that to make sure that our UPK students, when they come in, they can at least get their services right here in the district, and we don't have to bring anybody in because there's nobody out in the county to come in. As a little overview of what falls under the department and the staffing wise, right now there are 14 special education teachers under the department. I have 4 school psychologists, 3 school counselors, 3 school nurses, 2 school pathologists, speech and language, and 1 occupational therapist. So that's the team that heads all of that up. And lastly, just going over some of our programs. I know this is a little awkward diagram. Really what this is a least restrictive environment. So at the bottom, you can see the regular classroom. The regular classroom, one step away from that with support would be either direct consultant teacher services or integrated co-taught classes where you have 2 teachers in the classroom. They work differently, but similarly in either configuration. One step away from that is special class. So those are the 3 offerings that we have here in district. Out of district, we have some day placement programs, and then we have some students that are in residential placements. So those are least restrictive to most restrictive. And here are our student breakdowns. Since I've been here, our numbers have gone from 157 down to 123. However, that number is always a moving target with students moving in and out of the district. We have done some things like at the secondary school, IEPs or individual education plans are only available for a student when they're in kindergarten through 12th grade. So we've done a lot of educating with the parents. And at 11th grade, generally what we try to do if a student has a medical diagnosis and we can put them on what's called a 504 plan, we put them on a 504 plan if we can, because the 504 plan is under the American Disability Act of 1973, and that also follows a student after they graduate high school, where an IEP sunsets when a student graduates high school, so it doesn't follow them off onto college, and a 504 does. So if they have a medical diagnosis, so we've reduced some of our numbers in that area by doing that overall. At the elementary school, we have 50 IEPs. In the secondary school, we have 51, very similar. Out of district, we have 22 students that are out of district in that more restrictive environment, for a total of 123 for CSE. That does not include the preschool numbers because preschool is kind of overseen by the county. We really don't have as much say in that, although we have to make sure that we put everything in place for that. And lastly, the 504 breakdown. So these are students that don't quite meet the criteria for an individual education plan, but they are still offered some protection under the American Disability Act of 1973. We have 17 students down at the elementary school that have medical needs and warrant a 504, and we have 31 secondary school students. For a total of 48. I know that's a huge discrepancy or big difference between the 2 numbers, and a lot of that is attributed to things that have been happening over the past few years. So there's many factors that play into that, whether it is COVID, social media, but the students really, their executive functioning skills and their mental health concerns have really increased dramatically over the past couple years. And that's why our clinical team is really focusing this year on specific targeted grades so they can support the teachers more in that mental health capacity. So I just want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, I will try to answer them at this time.
Quick question for you. You mentioned you submitted the grants, the 611 and the 619. Some of those contained recurring, costs. Do you ever have a problem where you don't you submit it and you get it kicked back that you're not getting the money that would cover those recurring costs?
So
Seems like it'd be a large amount of money.
it is quite substantial. And there are times where the grant has been kicked back, but it's mostly for wording. So sometimes they want a more descriptions under certain things. There are specific criteria for things that you can purchase with the grant. So we get that allocation every year, like what you can use it for, what you can't use it for. The only time I think I really have to say that I had a difficult time submitting the grant where we had to go through numerous submissions was the first year that I got here because we were not in compliance when I first came on from the previous 3 years for disciplinary action. And I had to submit specific monies for CCEIS, Special Education Improvement allocations that had to really be much more delineated and justified more than they did now. And the state really looked at that language. Bob can tell you we had to submit that like 3 times that year. But we've never been denied the funds. Generally, they just ask you to fix something and resubmit it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Cornish, for that
All right.
presentation.
Thank you, everybody.
Next, we have the superintendent's report with Miss Erin Long.
Good evening, Tri-Valley. First, I would like to say on behalf of our Tri-Valley Board of Education, our school, and our community, we would like to extend our condolences to the Sullivan West community. They suffered another tragedy last night involving a 17-year-old young man from their community. So we have reached out to them and certainly offered anything we can do to support. On a lighter note, we've been welcoming back our staff, and it's been great to see everyone. The excitement is starting to build for next week, and we're really looking forward to our conference days and bringing our students back next Thursday, September 7th. For folks that are wondering, there have been no changes to our morning drop-off or our afternoon pickup procedures, and our school times remain the same as they did last year. For our fall, our athletes are on the fields and practicing, and then our modified kids will start when school starts, and that, again, is great to see so many kids back. Tomorrow, and this is cute, our brand new class of 2037 will be here for their UPK graduation or orientation, 2037. And then next Wednesday, our kindergartners, which will be the class of 2036, will be here for their orientation. And our 7th graders, who are the class of 29, will be here for their locker night on the Wednesday night. On September 18th and 19th, our strategic planning partners will be here with us to hold 2 community forums. They will take place both in this room from 6 to 7:30. If you are interested in participating in the community forum, please get a hold of Ms. Pena and she will sign you up. So we'll have that posted on our website, on our Facebook, and then around the community. We only have slots for 12 each night, and then we'll add a waiting list. So we're looking forward to feedback from our community. That's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Long. All right. Number 8, we have items the board wants pulled from tonight's agenda. I didn't hear from anybody wanting to pull any from the agenda, so we're going to move on. Number 9, we have our consent agenda, including the business portion. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion by Rose, second by Tammy. Please, any discussion before we vote? All right, no discussion. Proceed to vote.
Yay.
Vote is unanimous. Excellent. Moving forward, we have our board committee reports. We have a bunch of policies that we have been working on. Lots of policy tonight. Going to be the first reading. First, we have policy 2210, board organizational meeting, first reading. Second, we have policy 2382, broadcasting and recording of board meetings. That's a first reading. Then we have policy 4321, programs for students with disabilities under the IDEA and New York's Education Law, Article 89. Policy 4772, graduation ceremonies, first reading. Policy 8413, transportation for non-public school students, first reading. Policy 8414.5, alcohol and drug testing of drivers, first reading. Then we have policy 8414.5-R, regulation alcohol and drug testing of drivers, first reading. Policy 8414.5-E.1, exhibit alcohol and drug testing of drivers, first reading. Policy 4821, school ceremonies and observances, first reading. Policy 5040, student religious expression, first reading. Policy 5225, student personal expression, first reading. Policy 9101, employee religious expression, first reading. And that's what we have for policies. Okay. Moving on to old business. We have no old business unless someone has something here from the board. Okay, no old business. Next, we have public comment session for items that are not on tonight's agenda. Before I roll into that, we have had some turnover in the meeting, so I just want to go over the public comment notes I have here. The Board of Education would like to remind community members that meetings are not public forums. Rather, they are business meetings held in public where dialogue is not normally conducted with audience members. If you'd like to share your thoughts with the board, please state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Please understand, we will not respond to your comments or questions at this time. But if you'd like a response, please be sure to include your phone number or email address and sign in by the door. Please note that public comments for items on the agenda will occur during the first comment section, all other comments occurring during the second comment section. Comments should be in reference to a school topic or interest, not an individual or an employee position. Speakers are asked to be respectful, as we regularly have students attending the meetings as part of their coursework. Anyone who wishes to address the board, please step up to the podium and turn on the microphone so we can all hear your comments. Thank you. Okay. First person we have for public comment is going to be Joanne Shattuck. Welcome, Joanne.
Well, good evening to the board. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I came in late. I thought this started at 7, so I apologize. So, as I know some of you are aware, some of the senior girls were cut from the varsity soccer team, and it is a concern among some of our parents. So, my daughter, Taylor Doty, was one of those members that was cut in her senior year. So, I just want to take a minute to really talk about my daughter. So, my daughter, this is the type of kid she is. My daughter had her whole summer planned. She had a job lined up. She has a boyfriend. She was going to learn how to drive. She had every intention of attending off-season practice. About 2 weeks before school ended, her little sister got re-diagnosed with cancer, and she made the decision to move to Middletown for the summer. She was really diligent and responsible in letting her coach know that she was going to be living in Middletown for the summer and that she wouldn't be at off-season practice, and that she had a lot of family things going on. My daughter does not like to talk about her sister. So I had emailed Jason Kloss and Kayla Connolly, the coach, on Friday.
Joanne, if I could just interrupt for a second, just if we could keep all names, please add it. You can.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't.
That's
If,
No problem.
if you could also talk into the mic.
and if you could, I'm
Oh.
sorry, it's not as loud.
No problem. So she
mic
had
on?
emailed her coach and the athletic director. I had emailed them that Friday just to let them know that we had registered her and just kind of, what was going on with her, the situation, just, hoping that the coach would understand that she really wasn't slacking for the summer, that she had, things going on that were just beyond her control. And also I was just hoping that maybe it would turn into her at least being a little nicer to her during the year and kind of, taking the pressure off of her a little bit. So my daughter is a National Technical Honor Society member. She was captain of the JV team. She's going to study in college to be a pediatric nurse to help kids like her sister. So Taylor received an email from the coach at around 10:30 letting her know that she got cut. After that, she had received a text from one of her teammates telling her that the coach had stated, "Your little buddy got cut." So I had emailed the coach and just said, I'm really disappointed in your decision. It's kind of heartless. Like, my kid is going through enough. You're breaking her spirit. You're taking away her senior year. You are taking away her senior night. And I said, you really have some nerve saying that to another teammate of Taylor's. So she had responded to me and said it was a hard decision. And she denied saying that to another player. And she told me that Taylor was cut because she missed the last day of tryouts and that I could call her if I wanted to discuss. I responded to her that, what would you like to discuss? Because I know that there was, another girl who did miss the first day of tryouts for vacation. So what was the difference between Taylor missing the last day and that girl missing the first day? And I never got a response. I emailed Erin Long, and she has been amazing at just being responsive, and I'm just so appreciative that she's looking into it. So I do appreciate it. So on Friday, a parent of the teammate that was told this by the coach called me upset and asked what was happening and said that the teammate had told her what the coach said about her little buddy getting cut and that her daughter was yelled at the next day at practice for telling Taylor. So she had also told me that she sent an email to Superintendent Long as well. So I just need to say that this to me doesn't really embody what we teach our kids about the Bear values and about being a community. And it's just really hard. And I just don't understand how someone who's been playing ASO since they're 7 and has played their whole secondary school career for the Tri-Valley soccer team could get cut in their senior year. I just don't understand how a girl that played for the division championship last year and played her heart out gets cut in her senior year. I just have a letter I wanted to read from Taylor's former JV coach, just about the type of person she is and the type of soccer player that she is. To whom it may concern, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to take a moment to share some thoughts about Taylor Doty, to whom I had the privilege of coaching soccer her JV year. Throughout the time I spent coaching her, I was consistently impressed by Taylor's determination, resilience, and positive attitude. She approached each practice and game with an unwavering enthusiasm, always giving her best effort. Her commitment to improving her skills and learning from every experience was truly commendable. What stands out most about Taylor is her exceptional sportsmanship and team spirit. She not only cheered on her teammates, but also lifted their spirits during challenging moments. Her ability to inspire and motivate others is a testament to her character and leadership qualities. Taylor has a natural ability to create a sense of camaraderie that extends beyond the field. While the recent decision may have been disappointing, Taylor is still channeling this experience into positive growth. Her dedication and passion for soccer are undeniable. Her determination to overcome the setback and continue pursuing her dreams is truly inspiring. Thank you for allowing me to share my perspective on the remarkable individual that Taylor is. I look forward to witnessing her future success and positive impact that she will undoubtedly make.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you,
I
Joanne.
really appreciate your time.
All right. Next up, we have Roseanne O'Connor. And folks, just a reminder, if we could leave any employee or student names out of the comment, that would be appreciated. Welcome, Roseanne.
I don't. Good evening, Tri-Valley Board members and Superintendent Long. My name is Roseanne O'Connor, and I am the mother of Alexandra Edis, who is one of the senior girls to be cut from the varsity soccer team by the same coach. By now, you have all been made aware of why we have requested to speak tonight, and that is to remove this coach from her position. Allie's father is unable to be here this evening, but he has requested that I read his email that he sent to Superintendent Long to the board this evening. But before I do that, I would like you all to imagine this very real scenario, because this is exactly what happened. Imagine yourself driving to the hospital with your spouse, getting mentally and emotionally prepared to have a major surgery. You're 10 minutes away from the hospital when you receive a phone call from your child who is hysterically crying so hard that you cannot understand a word she is saying. You try your best as a parent. You try your best as a parent to calm her down. Enough over the phone, knowing that you're an hour away. Finally, your child is calm enough to speak, and you hear the words, "I didn't make the team, Mom. I was cut my senior year." My initial thought was, you're kidding, right? You made the team last year. No one gets cut their senior year. I asked my daughter to tell me exactly what the coach had said to her. She said she was so cold, Mom. And all she said was that your mile time was not good enough. Your scores were not good enough. They were low. You didn't make it this year. Do you have any questions? Not good enough. Not good enough. What kind of message does that send to our children? What kind of person can honestly call themselves a coach, or better yet, an educator? This is the person that you currently have in your school working with our children. Is this the message that Tri-Valley wants to send to the students? They're not good enough. Not good enough. Dear Superintendent Long, I feel compelled to write you this letter, not only on behalf of my daughter, Alexandra Edis, but for all of the other students and athletes that have been affected by the unprofessional and inappropriate conduct of your soccer coach and educator. As an athlete throughout my high school and college years, I have always had tough but fair coaches that had clear expectations with an emphasis on team, not self. It has become evident through the past 2 years watching the coaching methods of she forgot about the team and only seemed to care about herself and how she would be perceived in the Tri-Valley community. She's made several comments to the team that she was going to make sectionals, which made it clear that there was something wrong with her method of coaching. She proved over and over, even after my daughter and the other team members attempted to talk to her about issues on the team, that she had no interest in listening to the suggestions or teaching these athletes, only playing the same players in every game to the point of physical exhaustion. I have never witnessed such heartless coaching in which a high school coach broke so many young girls' spirits by yelling at them on and off of the field, belittling them in practice, telling other players personal information which violated coach and student privacy, and finally segregating the team as a whole ultimately with a clear understanding of what she was doing. Yeah, she did make it to sectionals last year, but at what cost? The team got beat the first game as the players were physically, emotionally, and psychologically drained. And what did she do? She stood on the sidelines with her arms crossed, not cheering one player on. As I write this, I am reminded of the images of my daughter and the many other athletes sitting on a cold bench, waiting to get in and help their team, only to sit and watch the other coach hand-picked stars run up and down exhausted and eventually even getting hurt. As a parent, this was extremely sad, and as an athlete, it became frustrating to watch as she was only hurting her team. Fast forward 1 year, and a lot of those same players are still there trying to regain their spirit, my daughter being one of them, did everything she could to try to make whatever grudge the coach had against her stay in the past and give it her all, only to be cut as a senior. My daughter will never get to experience her senior night. She will never play soccer ever again. She looks forward to this all year long. She loves this sport. When she told me this, I thought she was joking, as no coach cuts a senior, especially when you're on the team the prior year. So again, my daughter and several other students, athletes' dreams of playing the sport they loved was crushed. This coach is anything but and needs to go for the benefit of the school, the team, and the countless students that she hurt and will continue to hurt. I truly hope that you do investigate these allegations and look deeper into what is happening, as this coach is unfit and will continue to ruin your school's reputation and cause further harm to student development. That was from Allie's father. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Roseanne. All right. Next, we have Laura Doty.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak to the board. I'm sure you've heard enough of this, and I'm going to come at it at a little bit of a different angle. I want to start with, I'm Taylor's stepmother. We have been co-parenting for a very long time, but a little background on us. Taylor's father is a New York State certified coach. He coaches for another school district. I am perfectly aware that there is nothing that a parent can say or do to change a way that they coach. They're going to coach the way they coach, whether your kid sits on the bench, whether they play the game, whether they don't. But for a student to be cut their senior year on a team they already made and miss out on all the things that they've looked forward to since she was played for this school district since she was in 6th grade is outrageous. The comments that she has made to these students is also unprofessional, to say the least. Taylor made a comment to me the other day that I heard that, you don't want us to use coaches' names. So there is another coach on the team that is supposed to be somebody in the school district that the girls can go and talk to and express their feelings and how they deal with things. She said, how do I do that when she's witnessing it? 16 years old. How do I express myself to somebody who's seeing it happen? That's coming from her, not the parents stepping in and wanting the best for their kids, because as we all know, senior year, yes, it's about school. They have to finish, and we want them all to go to college and become doctors and lawyers. But it's their senior year. They need to enjoy it. They need to have fun. And the one of the things, not the only thing, that she was looking forward to has been taken away from her. For what? Because she wasn't liked? Because she didn't say how high when she was asked to jump? I can't change how she coaches. And honestly, if it is overturned, she probably will treat her worse than it was last year when Taylor asked us to say nothing. But it's wrong and it's unfair, and I wanted the school to know that not just me, but other parents feel the same way. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Laura, for sharing. All right. That is, I believe, all we have for public comment tonight. Up next, we have number 13, announcements, reminders, and upcoming events. Do we have any announcements, reminders, or upcoming events? Alrighty. Number 14, new business. This is up for action. It's a adoption of the tax warrant for 2023-24. Do I have a motion to accept the adoption of the tax warrant for 23-24?
So moved.
Motion, George. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, second by Pat. Any discussion prior to vote? All right.
Aye.
Proceed to vote. All right, the vote was unanimous. Be it resolved, the board approves the following resolution for the 23-24 tax warrant. Whereas the Board of Education of the Tri-Valley Central School District has been authorized by the voters at the annual meeting budget vote held on May 16th, 2023, to levy the necessary tax required to fund the 23-24 school budget, and therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education directs the Tri-Valley Central School District tax collector to collect taxes in the same manner that collectors are authorized to collect town and county taxes, with the tax warrant dating from September 1st through November 8th, 2023. The tax warrant is $21,912,807.17 minus $676,546.75 for star exemptions, totaling $21,236,260.42, of which $20,793,482.03 goes to the Tri-Valley Central School District, and $442,778.39 goes to the Daniel Pierce Library. All right. Next, we have the certification of evaluators of teachers. This is up for action. Do I have a motion on this?
Motion.
All right, motion by Rose. Do I have a second? All right, a second by Brent. Any discussion? All right, please proceed to vote.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved, the board certifies that the following administrators are recertified prior to teacher evaluations being conducted for 23 and 24. Amanda Eberly, certifications taken August 16th, 2023 to August 28th of 2023. James Fantini, certifications taken August 16th, 2023, August 28th, 2023. Jennifer Williams, recertified on August 16th, 2023. Rich Biebenroth, recertified August 16th, 2023. And Frank Snyder, recertified on August 16th of 2023. All right. Now we have an appointment to tenure tracks. What's that? Appointment tenure track special education teacher. This is an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right, motion by Pat and a second by Rose. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
All right, motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that the Board of Education at its August 31st, 2023 meeting approves the appointment of Emily Moore to a 4-year probationary term as a special education teacher in the tenure area of special education commencing September 1st, 2023, provided that, except to the extent required by law, in order to grant tenure, you shall have received composite or overall annual professional performance review ratings pursuant to Education Law Section 3012-C or Section 3012-D, or either effective or highly effective in at least 3 of the 4 preceding years. And if you receive an effective composite or overall rating in the final year of the probationary period, you shall not be eligible for tenure at that time. The salary for the 2023-24 school year will be step 1, $52,777 as per the current TVTA contract. As per contract, additional salary for a master's degree and credit hours will be reviewed for approval. Emily Moore holds New York State initial certifications in students with disabilities, grade 1 through 6, effective June 30th, 2023 through August 31st, 2028. And childhood education, grade 1 through 6, effective June 30th, 2023 through August 31st, 2028.
Emily is here with us tonight. Emily, would you stand up and say hi? Welcome to Tri-Valley.
Welcome, Emily. All right. Item D, we have an appointment for a leave replacement, 23-24. This is an action. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Rose. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tammy. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Motion carries with a 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools that the Board of Education at its August 31st, 2023 meeting approves the appointment of Alexandra Bassani to a school counseling leave replacement position. This appointment is a step 1, $52,777, prorated effective October 2nd, 2023 through February 23rd, 2024, subject to change. Alexandra Bassani currently holds New York State Initial School Counselor certification effective June 10th, 2023 through August 31st, 2028. She will fulfill the leave of Nicole Temple. Additionally, the board approves the appointment of Alexandra Bassani as a per diem substitute effective September 5th, 2023 through September 29th, 2023 for up to 3 days a week to shadow in the area of school counseling. Per diem rate will be $150 per day.
So we also have Alexandra with us here tonight. Alexandra, would you stand up and say hello? Welcome.
Welcome, Alexandra. All right, item E, we have an appointment, elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide for 2023-24. This is an action item. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tammy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Pat. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
All right, motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved, the board appoints Rebecca Mills to the position of elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide for the 2023-24 pending fingerprint clearance. Item F, appointment elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide for 23-24. Action item. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
All right, motion by Pat. Do I have a second? Second by Rose. Any discussion? No discussion. Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved, the board appoints Sherry Lynn Reynolds to the position of elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide for 23-24 pending fingerprint clearance. Item G, appointment elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide 2023-24. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tammy. Do I have a second? Second by Pat. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved, the board appoints Dana Scanna to the position of elementary school substitute teacher, teaching assistant, teacher aide for 23-24 pending fingerprint clearance. All right. Item H, appointment occupational therapy assistant. This is an action item. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Rose. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tammy. Any discussion? Please proceed to vote.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 yes, 1 not present. Be it resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools that the Board of Education at its August 31st, 2023 meeting approves the appointment of Renee Courtwright as an occupational therapy assistant as per Sullivan County Civil Service rules and regulations for the 23-24 school year for a probationary period of 26 weeks. Salary for the 23-24 school year will be at a step 6, $51,444 as per TVTA Schedule B addendum of the current collective bargaining agreement. Renee Courtwright holds New York State licensure as a occupational therapy assistant through December 31st, 2025. Congratulations to all those folks. And next up, we have board comment session. I would invite board members, if they have something they'd like to discuss or comment on, they may at this time. We'll start with Brent. All right, Travis left us early. George?
I'd like to congratulate all the honorees tonight. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed with me. We have some very talented young men and women here at Tri-Valley. Thank you for your doing so well at Tri-Valley, and I'm sure you'll carry that on in your life. In reference to the policy, there's a lot of new ones on there that came with new verbiage this year. It's some of this rather interesting, so I encourage the other board members to just to take a look at it and see what your thoughts are. In reference to the gifted students programs, we had a lot on the risk students tonight and the funding. We talked a lot about the students in need, which we do need to talk about, and I thank you for that. But I'm interested in the programs we have for the gifted and talented students. Maybe they're not interested in the robotic. What exactly? Maybe I'm not quite understanding it all, but what exactly do we have for our gifted and talented students to move them forward? I do know students have moved out of the district because they haven't been challenged. So please, educate me a little bit on what we have And maybe at next meeting, we could have something on that, because I think it's important. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Tammy?
Congratulations to all the award recipients and all the new staff tonight on your appointments.
Excellent. Rose?
Just to reiterate what Tammy said, congratulations to the award recipients. Congratulations to those new hires. And just comment to Aaron about the packets we're receiving with all the different appointments. I do like the format. I appreciate the time it takes to go putting those together. So thank you.
Excellent. Real quick, I just want to say it's always impressive to me how we have a new set of Rockstar students every year. It really shows that the system's working and the machine is churning out some really outstanding young people. So that's fantastic. Secondly, as a lifetime athlete, collegiate athlete, I have to say that coaches have a profound influence on students. And I can honestly say I can remember each coach at each phase of my life, and they really do have that much influence. So I always bring this up. We need coaches. We need people that want these positions. We still have an open modified football coaching position. So if anyone is interested, we would love to have you come in and really help out and get things moving forward. All right. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy, second by George. All in favor? Sorry, proceed to
Aye.
vote. I'm not used to electronic voting.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. 6, 1 not here. Meeting is adjourned 7:38. Thanks everybody for coming.